Hi everyone, I'm Kyla Paolucci.
And I am Vic Rodriguez Tang. We started this collaboration to connect our shared interests in analog methods, community printmaking, and design pedagogy in order to find ways to make learning more tactile, experimental, and accessible.
We met at Vermont College of Fine Arts, where we learned to trust the process.
And this shared ideology of trust the process has become the foundation for how we continue to teach, how we continue to approach our research, and how we continue developing new tools that can serve not only our classes but our community. We were both drawn to the Risograph for its counterculture roots, its tactility, the time it demands, and how it encourages play. So far, we have found that most design educators who know Riso feel the same way.
It reminds us that slowness and imperfection can be radical.
For those of us that are new to Riso printing, the process of being self-taught has opened new avenues and possibilities for our research, giving us another tool to experiment, create, and be able to pass this information along to other students in order to empower them to create themselves.
Here's a very general overview to the history behind Riso printing. Riso has a hybrid nature. It's part photocopier and part screen printer. It connects digital tools to analog craft. Because of its accessibility and vibrant ink colors, it has been made a favorite in community print shops, art schools, and people who embrace independent publishing. We're drawn to the Risograph because it carries its own built-in pedagogy as well. Because design is so digital and optimized, risography offers friction by teaching process, patience, and the acceptance of imperfection. Through printing, students learn that failure is part of discovery, and that small misalignments or surprises can become opportunities for new ideas. It's a playful, low-stakes way to model creative resilience. Our project builds on existing pedagogy in order to make room for new voices. Public workshops like Do the Print in Barcelona and Secret Riso Club in Brooklyn, New York have created opportunities for anyone curious about Riso. However, these models often frame Riso as a short-term or specialized resource. In higher education, programs like Elaine Lopez's Radical Publishing Lab at the New School and the Friendship program at Portland State show how Riso can connect design students with community.
Outside of higher education, places like WIP, the Workshop for Independent Publishing in Minneapolis, continue to foster creativity and community by making risograph printing accessible.
At this point, our collaborative research became a shared experiment. We wanted to play in print too. Vic proposed a series of prompt-based exchanges via Miro, where we'd each respond to the same constraint without sharing our approaches in advance. Not only would we give ourselves the time and space to make, but we would understand how to use the Riso as a tool in our individual approaches to teaching. Each prompt is built around small constraints that mirror the limits of the Riso machine, whether that be paper size, color limitation, or specific print settings. Rather than focusing only on the finished outcome, we agreed to document every decision and surprise. Our first prompt, two-color printing, focused on immediacy and analog play. Both of us created quick collages from materials that we had on hand, and we scanned them directly on the flatbed scanner portion of the machine and printed them into two colors.
We photograph every stage of the process, such as collage, test prints, layering, and machine notes, and archive everything into a shared Miro board. This became the foundation for our evolving Riso prompt library, a space to compare outcomes, share reflections, and track how the specific prompt reveals something new about the Riso process. This shared space allowed for asynchronous collaboration that defied the constrictions of space, time, and location. This structured experimentation establishes clear technical and conceptual limits while leaving room for unique and personal interpretation. It is our hope that these prompts can turn fun printing exercises into adaptable learning frameworks that teach process literacy, encourage reflection, and be easily replicated across classrooms and community print spaces.
Through exploring methodology and the technical qualities of the medium, we find it can teach an array of formal principles for curriculum beyond graphic design for as long as there is an available machine. Riso also creates a level playing field when there is a disparity in skill. When everyone begins from the same constraint, hierarchy dissolves, whether participants are design students or not. Students learn from one another through process, dialogue, and shared discovery, shifting the focus from outcome to collective learning. By centering participation, reflection, and iteration over polished outcomes, Riso practice aligns naturally with ungrading and process-based rubrics. When grading is not tied to transactional labor-based measures that produce traditional letter or number scores, students have more room to take risks in their creative process. This approach encourages conversation, experimentation, and honest reflection. It opens space for students to share how ideas evolve with feedback focused on growth, curiosity, and risk-taking rather than perfect prints. Assessment comes from a conversation about care and learning through making. As we make and play, we are actively developing a shared prompt library for any institution or organization with access to a Riso duplicator. As the work grows, we plan to invite submissions and host a panel of educators to share their own prompt-based approaches. The goal is to shape a collective resource for accessible, process-driven design education that encourages experimentation and exchange across classrooms and communities. Thinking into the future, we hope to edit these learnings into a catalog that serves as both a field guide and a teaching tool. We hope that this project can encourage more educators to explore Riso as a tool for connection, play, and process-based discovery. We'd love to stay in touch and continue sharing prompts and experiments. Thank you.